Hello, Banta music followers. Welcome back. Today we're going over Tail Toddle. It's about to get real. Because this is a reel. So my goal with this is to help you understand and figure out where the beats in the bar are. Typically, once you find where the upbeat and the downbeat are in the bars, then it's not that difficult to find out how to play the tune and how to express it. So what is going to happen is all of the downbeats and the upbeats are going to be color coded so that I can show you where each one is. So each one of the downbeats has been color coded blue, and the other upbeat has been color coded red. With the downbeats for the blue ones here, especially on the D throw here at the very beginning of the bar, that is our first beat, and we know that the first beat of any tune or bar starts on the left foot, okay? If you put it on the right foot, please change that right now to a left foot. The right foot is the one that can sometimes be a little bit tricky to figure out. So the right foot would go on the F. And how do we know that? Because when we go through a tune like this with two beats, it's kind of like a 2/4 march, except the rhythm is different. But we put the left foot on the D throw, and then we put the next left foot on the high G. If we played this bar through, it'd be blah da 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 blah da da ba. That's our D throw and our high G doubling on the next blue note. If we doubled the number of times that we tap our foot, or in this case clapped, then we'd be putting the second beat on the two Fs in the bar. So blah da 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 blah da 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 blah da 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 da. Those are the two Fs that are on the upbeats. Now you might be asking, why do we not put those two beats on the D and the E? How do we know not to put them on there? Because that would not make the rhythm correct. Blah da 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 da. If we try putting it on the D and the E instead, blah da 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 da. See, I can't even do it. It's very challenging to do that, and the rhythm does not work in that sense. With the second bar, you might notice that the first bit of the bar, in the second bar, we start the bar out with a group of two Ds, F, and a D. So the first downbeat starts on that first D, and then the upbeat is the one where you might not quite be certain whether to put it on the next D or the F or the D. So typically we won't place the upbeat on the last note in a grouping of 3 or 4. We'll put it on the third one because it makes sense with the rhythm. So we go da 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 da, so da 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 da. So the right foot goes on the F, and then the next left foot goes on the E because that's our next downbeat, the one we would typically tap our foot to. And then the next upbeat would go on the C before the low A at the end of the bar. So da 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 dee da da, D F E C, D F E C. So those are the notes that the downbeats and the upbeats go on. And then we notice that the third bar is the same as the first bar, so we don't have to figure it out. It's already figured out. And then the last bar, the fourth bar, we take the same principle as on the second bar. We implement it into the fourth bar. So the first downbeat goes on the first F because that's just how it works. And then we put the upbeat on the high A because just like with the second bar, we put it on the F, which was the third note in. So the high A is the third note in. And then the downbeat and the upbeat goes on the E doubling and the C. Now, what's nice about reels is typically they will be very similar. They'll have a very similar pattern to 2/4 marches, or pretty much any kind of march, honestly. With the first bar and the fifth bar, so the first bar, the second line, those bars are the same. And the same thing can be said about the second bar and the sixth bar. Seventh bar and the eighth bar are the ones that suddenly change. The third bar is a little bit different from the seventh bar, and it's also almost the same. Half the bar is the same. but the beginning of the bar is different. So it is. So we put the first downbeat on the low A and the upbeat on the second D, not first. Well, the next downbeat will go on the high G doubling, and then the upbeat will go on the first F of the FE. So da 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 dee da da dum ba dum ba dee da da. So we go left, right, low A. So low A, D, high G, F. And then the same thing goes with the last bar, which is the left foot goes on the first F, right foot goes on the high A, left foot goes on the E doubling, and then the right foot goes on the C. By the way, if you find that this is not the greatest method for teaching this, let me know in the comments down below. If you like how it works, let me know down below, and we will continue using this. If it doesn't work, I'll figure out another method. So let me know what works the best for you. With the second part, now that we have gotten a better idea of how to find the down and upbeats in the bars, we notice that with the high G here, I'm going to change my thing here. With the high G here, that is the first downbeat, and then the next downbeat is the first B in this group of 4 right here. The first upbeat is the D here, and then the second upbeat is the D here, because that's the third one in. We have to keep this consistent, right? So with this one, we notice that the same principle as with the first bar here, we have a quarter, 2/8 notes, a quarter, and 2/8 notes. Exactly the same thing here. So the high G is the first downbeat, the E doubling is the second downbeat, and then the upbeats are on the D and on the C. So to be honest, the rest of this, you can pretty much figure out exactly where all the beats go in the entire rest of the tune. Now with the last bar, you have the downbeat on the low A, and then you have the next downbeat on the E. Now you may notice that there's no more beats after the E, and that is because the E is a half note. It's not a quarter note. 2 quarters is a half. Think about your math there. So with this one, you have and then the first upbeat is on the second high A after the thumb grace note. So and then you have 2 beats on the E. So that is how you count out the rhythm of the reel. So all reels will be the same way. The counting is the same. Da 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 da. So for example, in the first bar of John Morrison, a lot of people are familiar with that. Yeah. Dum ba dum ba dum dum ba dum ba dum ba dum dum ba dum ba dum ba dum. The rhythm is slightly different because of the way it's written. But you go dum ba dum ba dum dum da dum dum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum. So the rhythm is the same. It's just how you play how you phrase out the expression is different, because there's a lot more dot and cuts in John Morrison than this. This one has no dot and cuts, and John Morrison has a lot of them. So that's how you learn how to play tail tottle. So this one is available typically through a Google search, or you can find different places like Pipe Tunes and bagpipemusic.com to get these off of. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson for tail tottle and this reel lesson. So let me know how you like this structure. If you like me to adopt it in change it, adjust it in a certain way is the word I was looking for. And if there's any other tunes that you'd like me to go over, let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.